Hey everyone, Ben here from Dream Team, and welcome to our masterclass. Today's discussion is going to be how to define the right data for the right meetings. You know that data is a very, very powerful tool in all conversations, but different types of conversations require different types of data. What you're looking at within your recruitment team may be very granular and nuanced. What you may be looking at with your C-level executives may be very high level, and a hiring manager may be somewhere in the middle. So it really depends what type of data you should be looking at what point. And we effectively created this masterclass to help you find that right data. For those of you who don't know Dream Team, we set out to answer this very question. We set out to help recruiters, hiring managers, C-level executives, all get transparency and insights when it comes to their recruitment efforts. We wanted to do this in an extremely customizable and easy to use way, because at the end of the day, you know your company better than we ever would. And so while we can recommend a whole bunch of different insights that may be valuable for you, you know what is valuable. And so we wanted to create a way that you can add and remove all different insights to provide only the specific data that you're interested in doing. We also wanted to reduce the time that it takes in order to do analysis from 15 hours to 15 minutes, saving you time, energy, effort, giving you confidence within the data itself, and allowing you to focus on what you do best, which is bringing in top quality candidates into your top quality company. It's a little bit about Dream Team. Let's dive into it. Let me show you the platform. And while I am showing you the different types of insights that you can get for the right types of data, for the right types of meetings, you'll also see how our platform works. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the Q&A or send us a message at support@dreamteam.app, and we would be more than happy to help. Okay. So let's dive into Dream Team itself. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove that for now. Okay, so this is our homepage. At the top, you can see all of the templates that we have. These are just some of the recommended, and you can click on see all to see all of them. There are many more to come. We add new ones on a weekly, monthly basis. And if you click onto any of them, so let's just say sources quality as an example, you will see it automatically populates with all of your data. It's all live. And if you click on use template, you can immediately access all of this information. At the bottom, you will see subscribed views. These are the types of views that are subscribed to you, that are of interest to you. It can be dashboards that you've created. It can be a job that is specifically for you and the hiring manager. And all of this can be seen here to remove from all of the clutter that you may see over here. We have many, many more features, but I'm going to start by answering this very question of what data do you look at what point? Now, if you were to go about that process of trying to find the right information to look at, you can effectively create a new dashboard. You can say, I know that I'm interested in speaking to C-level, high-level KPIs. Can probably word that better, but we'll keep that for now. And you can go into our insight store and start adding every single insight that's of interest. So let's say you want to see number of hires. You can go ahead and add that. Let's say you want to see number of withdrawals. You can go ahead and add that. And I'm not sure if you've noticed, but effectively what we've done is given the ability for you to see any insights that may be of interest without needing manually create it yourself. You don't need to find the X and the Y and then the type of graph. We've built it out all for you, provided you with all of the different insights that may be relevant. And then we've categorized them all. So if you know that you're interested in looking at offers, you can click on offers and you can see all of the different types of insights that we have for offers. Now, we've also broken them down into 3 subcategories, and that is volume, quality, and speed. Those are the 3 fundamental variables that will affect your hiring goals. So you can have thousands of CVs or resumes coming in on a weekly basis. That may increase. The more CVs you have, the more quality candidates you may find, and therefore the more hires you may have. So that's one variable. The second is quality, right? Like I said, you can have thousands of CVs, but if all of them are very low quality, no experience, or whatever the issue is, it's not going to help you. And then finally, you have speed. Speed, what we've seen, is one of the more important variables when it comes to hiring. And there's multiple reasons for that. Candidates may get cold feet. They may get another job offer, especially in the markets that we're in right now. And so basically what we did was allowed you to break down all 3 of those to provide easy to access data. So like I was saying, you can go ahead and create this all yourself if you know exactly what you're looking for. But oftentimes recruiters come to us because, or hiring managers, directors, anyone, they come to us because they're not sure what exactly is important to look at. So let's say, for argument's sake, we have a yearly review of 2021. We want to look at how we did. And this is to the C-level team. We can look at many different types of dashboards. What we'll land up choosing is top-level KPIs. Now I'm going to go ahead and click use that template. And now you can see all of the different insights that we determined may be of interest. Now, like I said, actually, before I get into the ability to customize, I want to show you how you can filter to exactly what you're looking for. So first of all, we said that we're interested in 2021. So we can go into calendar and we can say we're interested in seeing last year. Save that. And now we will see all of the data that we had from last year. If we want to do custom dates, we can. We can obviously take that a step further. And let's say we're interested in the top level KPIs for C-level, but specifically our, I don't know, head of marketing, right? Or head of R&D. We can add a filter on a dashboard level, meaning any insight that we have will be affected by this filter. And what we can say is the department is R&D. And I can go ahead and save that. And now we can see all of the information specifically to R&D. Now I'm going to go ahead and say top level KPIs for our, let's remove this. I'm going to go ahead and add that. And so that's how you can start playing around and seeing only the specific information that is of interest for you. You can do the same thing on an insight level, right? So let's say I was only interested in seeing the time to hire for a specific job. I would add a filter that overrides the filter from the top level. And I would say the job is backend engineer. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, well, the data didn't change, so let's go ahead and change that to front-end engineer. As you can see, only this insight is being affected by the filter that I have just created. Let's say none of this information is of interest, or only certain things are of interest. We said that we're only interested in R&D, right? Which means things like number of hires by department isn't actually of interest because we only have one department. So you can go ahead and delete it. We can do offer acceptance rate by department is also not interesting because we see that over here. So we can go ahead and delete that. What we really recommend is using our foundational templates and manipulating it to what you're interested in. So I know for a fact, I'm not interested in time to onboard. I'm not interested in time to offer. So I'm going to go ahead and delete both of those. But what I am interested in is our reasons for withdrawals. We know that we have an issue with candidates withdrawing, and so we want to keep that top of mind. It was also discussed in the last conversation that we had, and so we know we need to present it. So I'm going to go into the Insight store, go to withdrawals, and say number of withdrawals by reason. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my dashboard, and you can see it populates here, but I actually want to make it a little bit bigger. And now I can see front and center what are the main reasons for their withdrawals. We can make certain things smaller. We can always move things around. So let's say I want this to be seen over here, hand in hand next to each other. And this is now one single source of truth that you can have for your top level KPIs for your R&D team. Now, let's say you are interested in having a bi-week or a monthly with your recruitment team. You're not going to be looking at this data, or maybe you are, but you want to see more granular data also. Well, there's multiple different things that you can look at. If it's a monthly, you can always look at our monthly overview and see all of the activity that we've had. We can see more granular. I'm just going to click use template. We can see more granular and say, okay, we know exactly what percentage passed, what percentage were rejected, and what percentage withdrew. We can dive into the specific people that withdrew at that stage and see more information. We can take it even further and see their specific, all of the information that has to do with them. And then you can even take it further and see it in your ATS, whatever you use. All of our insights are clickable like that, by the way. You can always drill further into it. So maybe this can be of interest. Here you can see the funnel. Maybe if it's the recruitment team, you want to highlight your recruiters that are of particular strength, right? So you can look at team performance. Let's say 12 months, just so we have more data. And now we can start identifying people that are particularly strong and have them provide feedback to the rest of the team. Let's say, for example, we identified that Marcy brought in 17 people, far above the rest of the team. Maybe Marcy can spend some time explaining what tricks they use in order to ensure more hires. We can do the same thing for offer acceptance rate. We can do the same thing for time to hire. We can always start comparing and referring. A particular interest of mine, something that I've seen has been very valuable, particularly from my previous experience at my previous company, is the ability to compare different people doing the same interview, but the pass rates between them. Right. So why is it very interesting for me? Well, I was conducting the first technical interview at my previous company. And we had a very, very low pass rate, and we weren't sure why. I was one of 3 that were conducting these interviews, and we painstakingly went for 4 hours and went through every single interview that was conducted by each one of us, saw if they passed or if they failed, and we effectively came up with this number, the pass ratio. What percentage of interviews that are being held are being passed by each candidate, by each interviewer, sorry. And what we noticed was I was passing something like 30% or 40% of the interviews, where my other colleague was passing 80%. And what we realized was there was a complete misalignment between what is considered possible and what isn't. And so we had a conversation with the HRBP and the recruiter and the hiring manager and all of the interviewers, and we all aligned on exactly what we should look for. And as we were able to find that balance at, I think it was around about 50% pass rate, we started bringing in significantly more qualified candidates all the way to the hiring stage. So that can be of interest. If you want to look at very granular information, you can always see the weekly snapshot. But all of this, what I showed you, are different types of dashboards that you can create effectively. What I want to show you is another feature that we have, and that is called our jobs. In our jobs, you can see all positions that are open and closed. And what you can do is you can dive into them further. Now, this can be particularly helpful for a conversation with your hiring manager, where they're interested in seeing only the information for the back-end engineer. But you have the very same conversation with the hiring manager that's responsible for the front-end engineer. And what that would mean is you would need to build 5 or let's say one very large dashboard for each one of them. And that can be cumbersome and time consuming. And so what we did was we created the ability to click into any job and see all of the information broken down into 5 categories. So we have activity, and you can see everything that's happening. So the pipeline, number of applications, the activity with the pass ratios and withdrawal ratios. We can see a typical conversion funnel. And you can see the same thing for sources, where these applicants coming from, which applicants are getting hired, interviewers, hires, withdrawals. And that way, you don't need to spend too much time building the dashboards that you want to present to the hiring manager. You can go over the data. You can highlight immediately where the major issues are, and you can spend the time of the conversation talking about what is actually important and not spending too much time building the data and trying to explain the data. Hope this was helpful. Hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to support@dreamteam.app. If you would like to speak to someone from our sales team to get a full demo and understand your specific needs, and if we can solve them, you can reach out to sales@dreamteam.app. And until we speak to you next, have a great day. Thanks again.